So DC is angling to come back and fight for the 205-pound title against Jiri Prochaska. That might not sound like a real story to you, and it 100% is. And I'm going to play the clip because Daniel Cormier, he said it publicly. Not only did he say it publicly, he said it in a way that tells me, as a person who has a trained ear for how serious a person is about talking about a thing like this, I know he's serious, and I know exactly why he's saying the things that he's saying and why he's saying them the way that he's saying them. And I'm going to play it for you. I'm going to explain what it means so that you understand this is real. This is 100% real. DC is angling to come back and fight Jiri for the title. He's got a really strong case, too. He's got a really strong case for why he should. And yeah, we're going to go from there. Here's the other thing. I got a lot to talk about right now. I was gone for 3 days. Okay, I had 3 days where I was on Gabriel's birthday trip. I got 3 videos I'm doing today, and 2 of them have to do with large, kind of amazing narratives, because we're going to do this one right here, which is going to be tied to that. Then we're going to talk about Islam Makhachev and the Charles Oliveira fight. That'll be a separate video. And then I want to talk about this other kind of, ancillary story about Conor McGregor, being at this club. And there's another video that I saw of this incident where this dude was chucking stuff at him, and then he got mad. Then the way it was framed was really weird. Anyway, I'm gonna show you guys exactly what really happened there, and you could decide for yourself if you want to judge Conor for how he acted or if you think it was justified that he kind of did what he did. But anyway, before I get into any of these, if you like the content, subscribe and ring the bell. I also got a funny story to tell you guys from this weekend, but I don't know. I'll put that at the end of one of these videos, so look for it. It's gonna, you'll know it when you hear it. Doesn't have anything to do with MMA. And also, anybody wondering who that guy is, that's Francis Ngannou. That's Francis. This is the only time you will ever see Francis and I in the same room where I make him look that size. Because if I ever, am caught on camera with him in real life, he makes me look like that in real life. So that's how we even things out here. But anyway, I'm really actually excited to hear what you guys think about the topics that we talk about today. So, throw it down in the comments. I look forward to your guys' takes probably more than you look forward to mine. But, I'm going to be reading the comments. And join the community if you haven't already. Subscribe, ring the bell. Anyway, so the Daniel Cormier thing. All right, so here's my bone to pick with Daniel Cormier right out of the gate, right? Is if you go back to go to TikTok, see where I got my start. If it's your first time here, who is this guy? Why does he have such a snazzy set and I don't even know who he is? Answer. Actually, I don't have an answer for the set. I'm not talking about that yet. But I can tell you where I got started was on TikTok. And if you go to my TikTok and you go to the very, very beginning, scroll forever. Okay? It was not forever. It was like February 2020. But you scroll down to the bottom, you will find many videos that I did talking about how Daniel Cormier needs to come back for one fight. And he needs to come back for one fight so he could fight John Jones at heavyweight for the and that being the culmination of his career. That was one of those narratives I was so emotionally tied to, because to me it's like the beauty of this sport is how a person's life gets written in this almost it's like it's like a storybook, right? And most people's story ends kind of tough, but the people whose end incredible, the only kind of career you can choose where you can be offered an opportunity to have a genuine, incredible, goosebump, tears, awe-inspiring end to your career is in this sport. I really believe that, more than any other. Because, if you're talking about tennis, it's Djokovic whoever, after being out for 3 years, he came back and fought played against his old nemesis. And in the finals at Wimbledon, he beat him. You're all, wow, that is inspiring. It took a lot for him to come back. In UFC, you're coming back and you're going to fight the dude. You're going to get locked in a cage and fight the dude until one of you guys is unconscious. You're going to lock yourself in a garage, however fancy your garage is, with your coach and your training partners, whatever. And you're going to train to fight for months and months and months and thinks about nothing else except this dude you're going to fight. And then in front of the entire world, you're going to get locked in a cage. You guys are going to fight. One of you is going out on a stretcher, or at the very least is getting woken up. Or worst case, please stop. Please stop it. And someone has to come rescue you. Otherwise you get a limb broken or die. It's romantic, man. It's not romantic like I'm taking my girl out. It's like a romantic story, like the stakes of that. And so to me, for Daniel Cormier, who has a perfect career, would be the GOAT, right? Like if not for Jon Jones, would be the undisputed GOAT, right? To go on the run that he went at light heavyweight, to go through that run minus the Jon Jones fights, which are tainted, and then to go up to heavyweight and fight Stipe Miocic, who had knocked out 100 guys in a row, and win by first round knockout, no matter what happens after that. And then he defends his title. And then he gets a title defense at heavyweight. There's no conversation there. He would have been the GOAT, right? And the only reason he's not is because one dude happened to be in his prime at the same time as him, which is Jon Jones. And to have the opportunity to fight him at heavyweight, first fight of Jon Jones' career at heavyweight, and it be Daniel Cormier, and the first time he's definitely not on juice. Well, at least you don't think he is. And to be able to avenge those losses and then that be your last fight, I was like, how could he not come back and fight, man? He's living his life. To me, I was like, I need that fight. Like, I need it. And if he wins, I'll fucking cry. I said it 100 times on TikTok. Well, maybe twice. But I was like, I'll cry if he wins. Straight up. But now he's talking about coming back. And he's talking about coming back and fighting Jiri Prochaska. And we're going to go ahead and play that clip for you right now. And then we're going to talk about why I know he's totally serious about this. Ready? Let's go ahead and let's do that right now. I have to do this whole thing because of the studio and whatever, but here we go. Let's listen to it. Ready? Boom.
DC said he could return only for a title fight against Jiri Prochaska. Here's the clip.
The thing is
there a chance?
The thing is, Hans, with me, it's like, I said this when I retired. I said, I'm only going to fight for championship belts. But it's like, I don't deserve a heavyweight championship fight. Like, Stipe's not the champ. He beat me the last couple times. Like, I don't deserve a shot at the heavyweight title. If I was ever going to fight again, in which I don't want to, I would have to go all the way back to 205 pounds. Why? Let me tell you why. Because I didn't lose. Remember, I vacated the title whenever I didn't want to go back down there when Jones was going to fight Gustafsson. So, but because I vacated the title, now maybe there's some potential in, hey, Dana, you think I could fight Jiri Prochaska for the title? Especially with your name recognition and what you've become outside of the fight game. Maybe there's some value in that, but there's no...
That would require you to go to 205, yes. Which I don't think you want to do.
I don't want to, but I would have to, Hans. I mean, if I had the desire to fight and I wanted to try to accomplish something great one more time, then it would require that, because there just is no title fight at heavyweight. I don't deserve a title fight at heavyweight. Well, if it ever happened, it better happen soon. I'm 44 years old in March. But hey, Randy Couture won the heavyweight championship at 45, so not impossible.
Exactly.
All right, that's it. Now, what I just realized, oh my God, dude. What I just realized right now is I had only heard that once before I started filming this video. Now that's the second time I listened to it. Now kind of with a clear head, like that's the second time through it right now. And man, now I'm thinking something else, dude. So what I could tell you is he's very serious about fighting. Very serious. Okay. Now I'm sure to an untrained ear who wouldn't understand why he's playing the ho-hum game, you sound like he's like, well, he said he didn't really want to. Yeah, right. Yeah, he did say that. He did. Yeah. He also said it would need to be quick. He also said if he wanted to do something amazing one last time. Okay. Now, first of all, I'm a person who can recognize a person who sees their own life in the way that I just described earlier, right? Like the way I described why it would be so incredible for Daniel Cormier to have come back and fought Jon Jones at heavyweight and have that be his, like, the final act of his career. Like I said, I see the sport like that. I see people's lives like that. I see my own life like that. You know, like I see every big event in my own life like that, you know. I mean, for those of you, whatever, build my, like get this close to having everything a person could ever, everything I ever wanted, times 100. Like, try to imagine if me, you guys know, I mean, if you watch my channel, you know me. Like, just imagine if I was the CEO of DraftKings, except instead of it being Jason Robbins, who it is, it's me. And also, the way that DraftKings blew up was because I was the centerpiece of a reality show. So not only was I the CEO of DraftKings, I was also insanely famous for being my eyes are bleeding because I care about this fucking company so much. Like, imagine getting like that close to that. And we could talk about that another time. And then losing it. And not just losing that, losing fucking everything. Like, losing it all down to zero. Like, down to nothing. And then, you know, like, and then now in hindsight, you look at it like, well, when I win, you know, when I end up having like one of the biggest podcasts in the world, in the history of the world, that low, like going from there to bankruptcy is part of the story. That's why it makes the win that much better. It's like, that is really how I see a person's life. Like, I'm grateful for the struggle because it's more to overcome. Daniel Cormier is a guy who sees the world just like I do and definitely sees the sport just like I do. And so, you know, when he says a thing like when he do it one more time, do something incredible one more time, believe me, I know exactly where that came from. That's coming straight out of it. That's coming out of his brain and his heart. That's him knowing the clock's about to run out. Like, you have a short period of time that you could still do one more time. Like, one more fucking time, man. You've done it. How many times have you done it? But that's because it's who he is. Like, what motivated him to get to a place where he could do accomplish all the things that he's done. It's because of that, right? It's who he is. So the reason he's pretending he doesn't want to do it, right? Like, where he's like, yeah, I mean, no, I don't want to do it, is because he's got to negotiate how much he's going to get paid. Okay. So that what he's doing right there, he's putting a flag up. Now, I don't know if he's had any conversations with Dana outside of the, you know, actual process or outside of the public, you know, eyesight, whatever. Nice words, nice wordsmithing. But either way, he's going to need to sign a bout agreement. And for a comeback fight, which might be your last fight, I would assume he's going to want to get paid a lot, dude. He's going to want to get paid a lot. And so he's negotiating. And so that's how you negotiate. You're like, look, man, I'm going to have to make it all the way back down to 205, man. I'm going to have to make it all the way back down there. I mean, geez, because I'm only going to fight for a belt, you know. I'm only going to fight for a belt. So, I mean, I don't deserve a title shot. So at 205, I gave up my belt. I didn't lose it. So there's that. And so when I started this video, what I was going to say is, he's ho-humming it because he's negotiating his money, but he absolutely wants to come back and do this. But the more I think about it, the more I think he might be using misdirection again, and he might be after that Jones fight. Oh my God. If that fight happens, I will put my head through this table. As a matter of fact, I will tell you that on air. If that fight gets booked, I will put my head through this fucking table. Okay? On camera. I'll fucking live stream it. I will smash this table like one of those like karate guys that break shit and you know, like, look at a show of strength. Except it's going to be a show of how excited I am for that fight. Through the fucking table. Man, I hope that that's what he's doing. And if he's not, then Dana needs to read the tea leaves and go, okay, yeah, he's right about Jiri, but he doesn't want to lose that weight for 205. What's the biggest fight that we could actually do with DC? Is we put the interim belt up. You know, if Francis wants to go fight fucking Tyson Fury and he doesn't want to resign or whatever, we do an interim belt or whatever. Or it doesn't even need to be a belt, but like you have the opportunity to do an interim belt. Who else is there, dude? Stipe got knocked unconscious in his last fight, like fucking unconscious by the champion. You know, John Jones, DC have never fought Francis. So you can justify doing a heavyweight title fight for DC and John Jones. Now, I know DC does not want that fight with Francis. And I don't fucking blame him. Now, I don't know that for sure, actually. I don't think so, though. I mean, these guys, I mean, they're pro fighters, but they're still like human beings. Like they can just, and DC having been, fucking 10 feet from a decapitation shot getting landed by Francis, I'm sure he's pretty nervous about getting hit with one of those, But man, if this ends up being Jones versus DC at heavyweight, oh my God. If there's anyone listening, anyone watching this fucking video who knows anyone who has any ability to control this outcome, I don't need any, and this is not what's in the works, because I think all kinds of crazy shit on the channel that makes sense to me, and then it's like 5 days later, it's like, yeah, nah, none of that. No, none of that's happening. Yeah, Charles, no, he's not fighting Conor. He's fighting Islam Makhachev. I'm like, okay. I mean, what I said still made sense, though, right? You know what's funny? I found a video just now. This is fucking embarrassing, actually. I hit up Chandler 5 days ago with this idea that, he could try to fight Islam Makhachev for the title because it looks like, Conor and Charles could fight, in a super fight, whatever. And I thought this was an original idea I had. I literally did it the day that I did the video where I said, Charles missed weight on purpose. And just now, I'm fucking scrolling through videos. I don't watch very much, YouTube. I'm scrolling through videos and I see Chael did a video about that exact thing 8 days ago. So 3 days before I sent the shit to Chandler as if I was like some fucking matchmaking genius. What a fucking idiot. But nonetheless, I don't need any credit. Just if anybody has any, anyone they can hit up with this, all I want in return is, as a fan, to get to watch DC fight John Jones at heavyweight. That's all I want. That's the only thing I want. Man, this video took a turn. I had not even considered that when I started doing the video until I heard him talk about it again. And now I'm like, my brain is racing. Anyway, I should probably cut this off because I got 2 more videos to shoot. So anyway, I love you guys. Subscribe to the channel, ring the bell. Peace.